And the only guy that can beat Canelo right now is Andre Ward. I'm telling you right now, he's the only guy that can beat Canelo right now. Benavidez can give him a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. And I still got to see it. I still want to see it. Like, I'd rather see Benavidez fight than Plant right now. They'll sell out Cowboy Stadium. No problem.
I'm with you.
But Ward, his IQ, his ability, his tactics, he can isolate a lot of the stuff that Canelo likes to do. He's bigger, a little bit longer, smart, fighting the inside, can move. He know the game, in and out. He can outthink him.
Do you think Andre would actually take that fight if it was on the table? I mean, he's already in the Hall of Fame. He's been retired so long.
Just put it this way. If Canelo feels that he wants that work, call him. If Canelo wants that work, call him. But I will come out and say Andre Ward beats him right now. Can you imagine Andre Ward coming out of retirement, been off whatever 3 years, 4 years, and then coming out and fighting Canelo with no tuna fights and then beat him? And then beat him?
Or vice versa. I mean, whoever would win, their legacy goes up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Listen, Dre hasn't lost since he was 12 years old. Olympic gold medalist. You know, Canelo, you outthink that and you beat that. You know what that does for your legacy? Do you understand what that'll do for your legacy? To beat Andre Ward? Come on, man. Yeah.
Have you had talks with Dre about that at all? Or is it...
We dabble a little bit in it, but
because it sounds like you know that he would still have enough fire or whatever you want to call it to get to take that one fight.
Well, Dre would do it probably if Canelo was a caller. Canelo got to call him. That'll fuel his fire. If Canelo don't call him, he ain't gonna exercise it. He ain't serious. If Canelo calls him and says, I'll slap that little boy, no problem. He's been out for how long? Bring him on.
Well, he might use that as a reason. You know, I don't want to fight him coming off a layoff, and then I don't get credit. Right.
You don't. Hey, listen, you don't have to. What time is it? Time for me to go?
Yep.
No, I'm just asking if you want something.
Oh, we good.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyhow, I don't know. I think that Canelo, I think he needs another signature fight. He really does. He had Triple G. If you go down his resume, a lot of the guys that he faced, and I'm keeping it 100, okay? And I'm not hating because Canelo is so beautiful for the sport. But if you go down his resume, he got a lot of guys when they're on their way out, okay? He beat Laura. He beat
Cotto.
Cotto was on his way out, but Laura wasn't. But Triple G is that guy that can say, wow, that guy is going to be HOF, Hall of Fame, no doubt about it. But who else?
Jacobs, good fighter.
Danny Jacobs is a hell of a fighter, but is he Hall of Fame bound?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So if he can put some more Hall of Fame bound guys on his resume, definitely one of the all-time greats. Mexico, for sure. Definitely. But he continued to do what he does. He's already passed Chavez, in my opinion. Chavez was the most beloved, man. I keep telling people that. He was the most beloved. They loved him. But Canelo got better skills than him. I'm sorry. I love you, Chavez, but Canelo got better skills than you, man. He does.
He's won more titles too, more divisions, four divisions,
13 titles. Chavez got 6, 3 divisions. He's already surpassed them already. You know, but he's missing those marquee fights. You know, and people can say whatever they want to say about, well, Canelo, he lost this fight. He gave it to him, and Canelo, it's close fight here, close fight. You don't think Chavez lost some fights in the past? Wait, think about it. Chavez got beat by Whitaker.
Clean.
Whitaker beat him. There's a couple of fights on Chavez's record, so don't sit here and play that. You know, we can't. Don't be
quality over quantity.
Yes. So, but at the end of the day, man, Both guys were great fighters. Chavez is a legend. Canelo's trying to get to that status. I think he's on his way. He could be undisputed. He will be undisputed. I called it. He's #1 pound for pound in the game right now. No disrespect to any of these other guys. Inoue, Spence, Terrence Bud Crawford, my buddy. No disrespect. Hey, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep fighting the best fights possible. Keep showcasing your talent. And it's not just about winning. It's how you win. And Canelo right now has been dominating champions. That's why he's pound for pound #1.
To tell you the truth, he said a mouthful, but I already put it on record. I think Canelo's already the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. I don't even think at this point it's even close. I think he's pulling away with it from Chavez. And honestly, the person I think they need to be comparing Canelo to is probably more Oscar than Chavez, especially if you want to talk skill set. But Chavez was a hell of a fighter. Now, as far as what he said about Andre Ward, that's really interesting. I like Ward, I really do. And if they would have fought prime for prime, because we're hearing a lot about that with Floyd Mayweather, then maybe you would have a case. Maybe. And even then, I would still be a little skeptical. Ward might be able to outbox him, but I think Canelo hit so hard, if he might actually been able to get Andre Ward out of there. And as far as boxing IQ goes, well, Bernard Hopkins said something back in the day. To be the chess master, you got to go get a chess master. When, he was speaking about fighting Floyd Mayweather. And it's kind of the same thing with Andre Ward and Canelo Alvarez. I think Andre Ward in his prime, maybe he might have been able to outbox Canelo, but it's hard to say because Ward was kind of economical at times with his punches, so is Canelo. Both of them go to the body extremely well. I think Ward probably was a little faster back in the day, but now I probably would have to get an edge to Canelo. I mean, think about it. Andre Ward hadn't fought in almost 4 years. Then on top of that, you take the knee issues that retired him. I don't think I could say I believe Andre Ward to beat him. Not right now. Maybe if Andre Ward came back and I saw him fight, maybe. But as of right now, I would say no. And even then, I probably still would say no. And you could say Andre Ward's the bigger guy, but it appears that Canelo hit the harder of the two. So, and I think that'll be the difference. I think Canelo might get a hold of his aging body and just wreck it, to tell you the truth. But all respect to Andre Ward, I would have loved to have seen that fight about 5 or 6 years ago, because it could have happened. But as of right now, nah. And I will say this one thing I definitely agree with Tim Bradley on. It's hard to see anybody beating Canelo right now. Caleb Plant, maybe on his best day, maybe he can get a majority decision, and I'm gonna say maybe. But I agree with what he said though. I don't think Caleb Plant has the pop. Maybe not necessarily to keep Canelo off from him, because I think his feet can do that. But still got to be able to make Canelo respect your shot. And I don't think he hit that hard. But I do believe the fight that makes that I think makes the most sense as a fan is him and David Benavidez. That would be a war. But even then, I have to give it to Canelo, and I'll tell you why. David Benavidez likes to throw a lot of combinations. And if he's staying there too long with Canelo, he's going to get to his body, and he's probably going to counter him at some point and maybe get him up out of there too. But that's the fight I would love to see. But Canelo said he ain't fighting no Mexicans, so good luck with that one. And there's one more fight that I would like to see, but we're going to have to wait for this and probably wait a few years. And that's maybe Canelo versus that young kid, what's his name, Belonga, something like that, from Brooklyn. That kid gonna be something special if he don't get too full of himself. And then that'll be another Mexican versus Puerto Rico war. But we would definitely have to wait for that one. And that's pretty much all I got this Head Bustin' Boxing Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know, do you think Timothy Bradley was tripping on that. I should put the Axeman on him, but I ain't gonna do that. But maybe just a little bit. I mean, you tell me. Could an old retired, 4 years retired Andre Ward with bad knees, and he said that himself, could he be the Canelo Alvarez? I'll let you tell it. And also hit me up and let me know who you think would give Canelo his biggest fights. Not saying beat him, his biggest fights on the back end of his career. Because don't forget, Canelo, he done crossed over the wrong side of 30, so it can't last forever. But who would you like to see on the down stretch of his career? And that's pretty much all I got. This head busting boxing's own Fight Doctor. I am out.